Let's debate tonight with Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP, Brajesh Kalapha of the Congress, Ashish Khaitan of the Aam Aadmi Party, Hartosh Singh Bal, political editor of Caravan. And my first question is to Aarti Jairath, senior journalist, who's with me here. Is this hypocritical of Arvind Kejriwal?
Look, Arnab, he's clearly trapped in an image that he has carefully
Is it hypocritical?
Well, you know, I just want to know one thing. Is an Aam Aadmi not allowed to travel business class? Is that a problem? I mean, if somebody gives a free ticket to an Aam Aadmi, should he say, no, I'm Aam Aadmi, business class is only for Khas Aadmi, and therefore I should not travel?
Okay, so
I mean,
nothing
is
wrong.
no.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting a free ticket, what's wrong with it?
No, what's wrong with
and
it?
why
Okay.
shouldn't an Aam Aadmi travel business class? I want to know why.
It's like saying, it's like Mulayam Singh Yadav who says, this 80-foot cake on my birthday is not for me, it's for the Aam Aadmi who are going to eat it. This buggy that I have got down from London is not for me, it's because I'm trying to empower people. Are you saying that Arvind Kejriwal is flying business class on an Emirates flight? No, one second. On behalf of the Aam Aadmi, is that the argument? Hartosh, you buy this, is this hypocritical? Hartosh, is this hypocritical? Because Arvind's getting a lot of flack for this. What do you think?
Of course you should get flack. You create a certain atmospherics, you indulge in theatrics. When you're called to account, you have to perform according to the theatrics you put up for the country, isn't it? I mean, when Shashi Tharoor calls it cattle class, there is criticism because he's looking down on this whole business of how Aam Aadmi fly actually. Now suddenly Mr. Kejriwal wants to fly business class and yet claim the Aam Aadmi mantle, at the same time preach and lecture everybody else on simplicity, about spending, things like that, then you will be called to account. I don't think the question is whether everybody else does it or not. The problem is Kejriwal is doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll let one more voice come into the debate, and that's of Sudhanshu Trivedi before we let the Aam Aadmi Party respond to it. Ladies and gentlemen, the point is that here is Arvind Kejriwal, and I want to make a small point here. Arvind Kejriwal is a man who has made a public show of traveling in a metro to his swearing in. He makes a public show of it. He's made a public show of taking an auto from the airport to the train station in Mumbai and then travels by local train to try and cultivate an image of someone who is one with the masses. So the question is, now he's taking political capital of this. He goes to a radio station, Radio Mirchi just the other day, and says that, you know, I never even took a big car when I went for my inauguration there. I went in my Wagoner. Look at me, I'm the Aam Aadmi. So the question tonight will be, are you the Aam Aadmi only when people are not looking? So when you're traveling abroad, or when you get the opportunity to fly by private jet, it's the hypocrisy we are talking about tonight. Sudhanshu Trivedi, what do you think? Sudhanshu Trivedi ji, aap kya kehna chahenge?
Actually, I agree with what Aarti Jairath had said. There is nothing wrong in traveling in the first class or business class or whatever it is. But it is a different standard of benchmarks with the parties set for themselves. As you have quoted Arnav, that if Mulayam Singh is saying 80-foot cake is okay, I would also like to remind Mayawati wearing a garland of currency notes. She says it's okay. So you set up your benchmark. It is not BJP or Congress or anybody has started. You just gave the example of Arvind Kejriwal coming for swearing in the metro. He says that their ministers will use the government vehicle only for the government cause, not in the private cause. I would like to ask, is going to take the swearing in of a minister is a private thing? It was a government function. You are going to take the charge as a government functionary. Then why you are making unnecessarily this an issue? And particularly when you were the income tax commissioner and your wife, both were availing the house which was entitled in your category. But when you become chief minister, you try to create a confusion or some sort of, you can say, gimmick. And it shows just a immaturity. As you are graduating in the politics, you realize the ground realities. I would also like to remind, you remember the incidents when he was in Ahmedabad, then he took a chartered flight of a corporate house to first he dropped in Jaipur, he has performed a program and then reached in a media house program in Delhi. Because when you grow...
No, one second, Ashish.
Factually incorrect. That's factually incorrect. We never took the chartered aircraft of any corporate house. We flew in the chartered aircraft provided by India Today Group from Jaipur to Delhi. Get your facts right. And I challenge you to
That's
prove that
what
we
I'm
ever took a
saying.
chartered aircraft
You
of a corporate house.
yourself are making
You
an
fly in the
issue
chartered
that
aircrafts of
using the
Adani's.
chartered
We don't.
plane is like a
Prove it.
luxury. It was not
I'm
necessary.
challenging you.
It was a
You have
necessity
just
because you
uttered
have
a
to
lie.
perform 3 programs.
You have
Ahmedabad,
just
Jaipur,
uttered a
Delhi on
lie,
the same day,
a
which you
falsehood.
can do only through
I am
corporate
challenging
flights.
you to prove this falsehood. Sudhanshu, otherwise all that you said just now is false. I am challenging you to prove this falsehood, that we ever took the chartered aircraft of a corporate from Ahmedabad to Jaipur. Prove it.
But did he go on a business
Prove it.
class? Did he go business class?
Otherwise, everything that you
have
say
taken the
is
corporate
false.
aircraft of India
Everything
today.
that you
So
say
you have
is a
directly
falsehood.
been obliged by
That's what you are good at.
business house or
Propaganda.
by a media house.
Propaganda. You are a propagandist.
It is better
You are
that
not
the
a
party would have
spokesperson.
paid for that.
Everything
Instead
that you
of
have said
yourself
that
is
has
saying
preceded this,
that the media house is provided.
Debate
And
on this
instead
point. You
making
prove
such a
that we have
noise.
ever taken the chartered aircraft of any
You should
corporation.
not have
Prove it.
taken obligation of any of the
Prove
media
it.
house.
I am challenging you. The nation is
accepted.
watching you. Prove
Ashish
it.
Ketan, you have accepted that
Prove
you
it.
have
You are
you
exposed.
got into the
Your
aircraft
falsehood
of,
is exposed. Now let me complete. Now let me come in. Now you have
your
had your say.
falsehood is
You
told.
have had your say.
You taken
have
the
done your
aircraft of India
propaganda. Now
today.
let me
Why
come
you
in.
have taken obligation
Now
of the
let me
media
come
house?
in.
No, what's before you come in, he also
Are
you
they
you
not the
came in. No,
corporate
you
house?
came in without invitation
Why
at
you
this
have
time
taken?
on opening
Just
remarks.
answer it.
Brajesh Kalapa was to take you now. 1 second. At the core of Arvind Kejriwal's carefully crafted image, Ashish Ketan is the image of a man who doesn't like this VIP culture, who doesn't like this. And you know, when he flew on a private jet for a media event,
Will you give me the opportunity to?
will you give me the
my
opportunity to
response?
ask you? No, but will
Yeah.
you let me the opportunity to ask you? Because
Yeah,
you
you
see,
have been asking for the first 10 minutes.
when he
yes.
flew on a private jet for a media event and he flew on a private
Yes.
jet, what was his defense?
I'll tell you.
Arvind Kejriwal's defense. No, I remember. I have a very strong memory on these things.
Yeah, yeah.
He
So do we.
defended himself. Thank you. So do I. He defended himself saying that there was no regular flight available. 1 second, right? There was no regular flight available. So the India Today group hired a chartered plane for him.
Right.
Now today, there is a whole plane sitting in economy behind
Right.
him. There must be 200 people sitting in
Absolutely.
economy behind him. What is his
Absolutely.
excuse now?
Now
Give me
I'll
the
tell
excuse.
you. Now I'll tell you.
No, give me the excuse.
Yeah, and no, there's
Give me the
no
excuse.
excuse. We are not here to give an excuse.
Well, you have to
हमारे
give an
लिए
excuse for
आम आदमी की परिभाषा क्या है? जो व्यक्ति ईमानदार और स्वस्थ व्यवस्था में विश्वास रखता है वो आम आदमी है,
मैं बस-
चाहे वो पूंजीपति हो, चाहे वो मिडिल क्लास हो, चाहे वो अर्नब गोस्वामी हो, चाहे आशीष खेतान हो। और जो व्यक्ति बेईमान व्यवस्था में विश्वास रखता है और बेईमान व्यवस्था इस देश में चाहता है,
मैं एक
वो
बाइट
खास
प्ले
आदमी
कर
है।
देता हूं।
वो खास आदमी
मैं एक
है।
बाइट प्ले कर देता हूं।
आप कर दीजिए
और
बाइट
आप
प्ले।
आपको भी टीवी पे रखूंगा।
I'll tell you.
एक मिनट
You have to be fair, Arnab Goswami. You pose questions for the first 10 minutes. You have set up the stage. You cannot move on with the debate without giving me the opportunity to retort. Let me finish
I
my
want to
point.
remind you.
No,
Watch,
you have reminded me enough.
Acha, let me play a
finish
sound
my
bite.
point.
Ashish
You
Ketan,
have played the sound
Ashish
bites.
Ketan, I have
This
not
is
played the
unfair.
whole sound bite.
This is not
I will
a
give
fair
you your
debate.
full opportunity.
This is not a fair debate. You have made 4
I
people
want to-
intervene who are speaking against
so I'm
us.
saying something. Yeah.
Give me the opportunity.
First of all, she was
Give
not
me
speaking
1
against you.
minute.
No,
Give me 1 minute.
No, Ashish, give me
1 minute.
Okay, you give me half a minute before that.
Uninterrupted.
I will give you 2 minutes, but before that, I will play a sound bite.
Okay.
Now, 1 second. So
Fair
that's the arrangement.
Okay.
Fine. I will give you 2 minutes to reply. Brajesh Kalapa of the Congress hasn't spoken. But, ladies and gentlemen, you see, on the 3rd of December, I heard this on radio. Arvind Kejriwal says how I was chief minister. And I was chief minister, I don't like big cars, I don't like this. And I take my Wagoner, I go on the streets, I roll down. I want to be with the people. Now, at that time, he didn't say that I behave like this when I'm in Delhi, but when somebody gives me a business class ticket or when they give me a private jet, I happily get into it. Because in both cases, what comes across is that when nobody is looking, you have a completely different
We
attitude.
are flying in a commercial airliner. Everybody is looking. There's no. It's not a
Precisely.
stealth aircraft that
So,
nobody is looking.
No, but just listen to this sound
He's
bite now.
checking in. He's
Listen
boarding
to
the
the-
aircraft.
Yeah.
He's
you
sitting
say
in full
it-
public
no, then
view.
you don't make
What
comments
is
like this
that
one.
Nobody is looking.
Then you don't make
If nobody
comments
was
like
looking,
this
then
one.
how
Here's
did-
the comment.
How did this picture come in public
We'll keep
domain?
Ashish Ketan on the
Nobody is
screen and play
looking.
the sound bite.
Everybody is
Ashish,
looking.
Ashish,
I
listen.
dropped him to the airport.
Ashish, first look at this. Look at this sound bite.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल आम आदमी हूँ और इनफैक्ट पॉलिटिक्स में आने के बाद भी, सीएम बनने के बाद भी मैं आम आदमी की ज़िंदगी, जैसे एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ मैं आपको। जब मैं सीएम बना तो इन्होंने बड़ी गाड़ी भेजी मेरे लिए और लाल बत्ती वाली गाड़ी भेजी। मैंने कहा नहीं, मेरे को सरकारी गाड़ी नहीं चाहिए, मैं अपनी वैगनार, टूटी फूटी मेरी वैगनार होती थी, मैं उसी में चलूंगा। तो मैं जाया करता था रेड लाइट पे, फिर मैंने सिक्योरिटी भी नहीं ली, नहीं तो रेड लाइट तो होती ही नहीं मुख्यमंत्री के लिए। तो मैं रेड लाइट पे रुकता था, तो बहुत सारे लोग देखा करते थे, आ जाते थे मेरी रेड लाइट में, शीशा नीचे करता था, लोग हाथ मिलाते थे। लोगों को विश्वास नहीं होता था कि मुख्यमंत्री से ऐसे रेड लाइट पे हाथ दे के उसकी गाड़ी रोकी जा सकती है, उससे हाथ मिलाया जा सकता है। सो आम आदमी हूँ, आम आदमी रहना चाहता हूँ।
बड़ी गाड़ी भेजी मगर मैंने टूटी फूटी अपनी वैगन आर में मैं गया। नो वन सेक, तो इधर भी आप कह सकते थे आपने हमें प्राइवेट जेट भेजा, और मगर मैं प्राइवेट जेट में नहीं जाता हूँ, मैं आम आदमी हूँ, मैं अपने इकोनॉमी क्लास में जाऊंगा या इकोनॉमी फ्लाइट में जाऊंगा, तो व्हाई डज द सेम लॉजिक नॉट अप्लाई? नो, बिकॉज़ गिव मी 2 minutes. No, you will reply and then he has to speak to you after that.
You will give me uninterrupted 2 minutes.
Don't be on the defensive, Ashish.
No, I'm not on the defensive.
Don't be on the
enjoying
defensive.
this.
Thank you very much.
I'm actually glad that you are having this debate. I'll tell you
That's
why.
all right. Everybody who's in a trouble spot says
if tomorrow again we get a
private
government vehicle, listen to me. If tomorrow again we get a government vehicle with a lal batti on top of it, we won't take it because we don't want to inconvenience the common man. We don't want to put burden on the exchequer.
Come on.
But at the same time, if tomorrow Arnab Goswami, you flew us in business class 2 years ago to your event in Kolkata.
No, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. We'll again
you check.
We will.
One second. I'll put my position.
You have broken your promise. You said you'll give me uninterrupted
because I must clarify. I must clarify. You ask Arvind Kejriwal that question.
You don't believe in a fair debate.
No. One second.
That shows you don't want others to make their point.
I'll tell you something.
No, let me complete my point then.
Listen to me. When we asked Arvind Kejriwal to come to Kolkata,
why don't you listen to me?
So that when we asked Arvind Kejriwal to come to Kolkata, we offered him a business class ticket. Arvind Kejriwal says no, I would fly economy. And he flew economy. So that was Arvind Kejriwal 2 years back. Okay. And this is Arvind Kejriwal now.
Okay.
Now answer.
Now I'll answer.
Now answer. First of all,
you put us in a 5-star hotel. That's correct or not?
Yeah, so I'm not telling you.
Listen to me.
You tell me.
No, listen to me. See, there is a big difference between getting an invitation from Arnab Goswami's Times Now or India Today Group and you are sending us a chartered aircraft or a... Listen to me.
I won't send you.
No, if you send us chartered aircraft, if there is no other commercial airline in that time slot, we'll take that chartered aircraft.
This is the man who says,
we are against the VIP culture, which puts a big burden on the common man. We are against that VIP culture.
So you see.
No, today, what is the debate? If tomorrow, I'll tell you one thing.
The debate is...
You gave me uninterrupted 30 seconds.
I've given you 2 minutes.
You promised 2 minutes, give me 30 seconds.
You're in a spot.
Give me 30 seconds, Baba. Give me 30 seconds.
You're in a spot.
Give me 30. I am in a spot. I'm the dog. Give me 30 seconds.
I know you're in the spot. You know you're in the spot.
That's your conclusion. Give me 30 seconds. Now, we don't see any conflict between being wealthy, between living a comfortable life and being honest.
Now
we are all aspirational.
Changing.
We don't believe in class divisions. Aam Aadmi doesn't mean that Aam Aadmi will not live a comfortable life. I have come from middle class.
People are watching TV now.
All those who make Aam Aadmi Party
people are watching some television pe dekh rahe, aap soch
or lower class. There is no conflict between being being rich, between being middle class, between being an aspirational class, and between being an Aam Aadmi. You have to understand this. I too want to give a comfortable life to my family. Tomorrow, if yes, I will take an invitation.
You go on private jet.
Private jet.
Go on a private jet.
I will get into a private jet if there is no other arrangement. If I have to attend an event, I will go into a private jet.
No,
but provided that private jet is not offered by somebody who has a conflict of interest. Who has a conflict of interest with my functioning.
So you see,
today Adani's private jet has a conflict of interest with Narendra Modi's government's functioning. That's why it's a problem. But a private jet provided by India Today Group has no conflict of interest with the functioning of Aam Aadmi Party. We will take the private Today Group, but we won't take the private jet of Adani, of Ambani. That's why we take donations from Aam Aadmi, from middle class. We don't take donations from corporations like Adani and Ambani.
You see now, Ashish, can you close please? Because I have to let others in.
No, you let others in. But you allow me to complete my point.
I'm telling you here tonight, 1 second. You see, please, Brajesh will come in.
Brajesh, let Brajesh come.
You see, now 1 second. So what you're basically saying is, his basic argument is, Aam Aadmi is not literal. It is a philosophy. It's a philosophical situation.
It's a state of mind.
This is like...
It's a state of mind.
Exactly. Now, I don't want to...
It's an article of faith.
Right. It's like a BJP
faith in honesty.
Hindutva is not a political slogan. Hindutva is a state of mind. My question...
Yes, let them admit that's a state of mind for them.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Aam Aadmi Party says... being Aam Aadmi is a state of mind. This is going to be one of the quotable quotes of the year. And my point is, in your political campaigns, you have carefully tried repeatedly to adopt a literal image of the Aam Aadmi. mark my words, not a metaphorical one. So you can't turn around and say it's a metaphorical.
I'm
it's a
sorry
state
to
of
say
mind. One
that
second.
we have
No,
the visual metaphor
So any action
of Infosys CEO V. Balakrishnan being an Aam Aadmi. We have the visual metaphor of several other corporate honchos who joined Aam Aadmi Party.
Brajesh wants to counter you.
We have the visual
एक मिनट,
metaphor
आशीष,
of the creme de la
Ashish.
creme who supported Aam Aadmi Party.
जी, हो गया.
We have the visual
Ashish, then
metaphor
why did you,
of making a speech in Columbia University on the 7th of this
why
month.
did he symbolically?
That's a visual metaphor.
One second. Why did he symbolically take the? Please just
I'll tell you.
symbolically.
No, but the point
I am wearing a 5,000 rupees
I'm also
pullover.
an Aam Aadmi.
That's
Why
a
don't
visual
you give an
metaphor.
opportunity to
I am
speak?
wearing a 5,000
One
rupees
second.
pullover. That's the visual
Give me an
metaphor.
opportunity
And I
to
bought it
speak.
with
I'm
my
also
honest
a
money.
man, Aam
After
Aadmi.
paying tax. That's the visual metaphor. I am wearing a 5,000 rupees shirt. That's the
5,000
visual metaphor.
rupees?
Yeah, 5,000 rupees.
So you are wearing 5,000 rupees
Yes,
shirt and
that's the visual metaphor because when I was working as a journalist, I was taking home a salary of 3 lakhs per month.
Okay. So,
Yes.
So
Ashish,
you are,
Today I can't afford it because I've joined Aam Aadmi Party. I have not earned
My
a single
point-
penny
my point-
over the last 1 year.
my-
Today I can't afford it.
Current logic.
So I am saying if you want to say visual metaphor,
ladies and gentlemen,
we have the
Now,
visual
may I-
metaphor.
may I
wearing
please-
tattered
Yep.
clothes because Aam Aadmi only wears tattered clothes.
let me
Aam
Not
Aadmi
very
Party,
expensive
I think
as I said, is a state of mind. Aam Aadmi Party doesn't mean what you wear.
No.
Aam Aadmi Party means what you
Ashish,
do.
now
That's
you,
Aam Aadmi Party.
Ashish,
25
What you intend to
Ashish-
do, that's Aam Aadmi Party.
Ashish, can you now let other Aam Aadmi must also let others speak? You see, I'm saying one thing.
No,
Just, let me complete my
25 minutes later, Arnab,
No, what-
I'm sure you'll appreciate that Aam Aadmi was really the Congress Party's slogan. They stole it, right? And the least you can do is 25 minutes later allow me an
Because you
opportunity
fleeced
to speak.
Aam Aadmi.
Please.
You became a party of corporates.
No, please. I didn't.
Of Adani
I didn't
and Ambani.
interrupt. I didn't interrupt. I didn't.
Let him speak.
You see, let's go by it, from date by date, right? This gentleman becomes chief minister. Then he says that no, I'm not going to stay in my old house. I'm going to move into some kind of place which is close by to Delhi, and then comes and settles himself in a accommodation which is put together cumulatively much larger than the house of the chief minister of Delhi, whom he says that she was living in a very luxurious manner, and this is something which was totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
Then there is a media outcry and says no, I'm shifting from this place, I'm moving to another place, stays in that place. Then what happens to his Wagoner? While he's chief minister, suddenly dumps it, suddenly starts using the government car.
So what are you saying?
No,
basically?
the
Come to
point is...
You're saying this is a marketing gimmick.
Look, it's all dramatics.
Dramatics about-
It's dramatics for a person who is an absolute opportunist. Absolute opportunist. You see, you have to understand that this is the very same person who overstays his stay in governmental accommodation. He stays for beyond some 7-8 months. Who pays his rent? Who pays this rent? And what is the big show about? In the first place, you say, I'm not going to move out of my Ghaziabad residence, move into a massive bungalow. Then you say, no, I'm not going to use my governmental car. Use your governmental car.
So the point is...
every rule he has made, he has broken.
The point is that you cultivate an image to get political brownie points. And you say that I could have taken a helicopter to fly between offices and the residence, but if I could have said I'm an efficient chief minister, but I did not do that, I went in my Wagoner. That's not one point. The point is, in Mumbai in March this year, a lot of people were inconvenienced because Arvind Kejriwal made a very public spectacle of his Aam Aadmi Party credentials by taking an auto rickshaw from Santa Cruz Airport, then climbing onto a train from Churchgate Station. I can give you, and all all of these are, now it's becoming a little. On January 3rd this year.
Today, when Prime Minister moves in the city, the whole traffic comes to a grinding halt for 6 hours.
I'm asking you.
The city goes for a toss for 6 hours.
I'm asking you. You see, he's asking you about.
Doesn't that qualify as inconvenience for you? I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why what we do.
Ashish, I'll tell you 3 U-turns. 1 second, please. I'll tell you 3 U-turns. 1 second. And we have a right to ask these questions. Don't be like the politicians who can't ask questions. Listen to the question.
I'm not a politician.
No, you are a politician.
No, I'm not a politician.
Very much a politician.
No, I say that I'm not a
activist?
politician.
You say Aam Aadmi Party politician.
We are not politicians because
What are you?
We are a happy party.
You're a happy party.
We believe in likable politics. I'm a likable politician.
You're a likable politician.
Yeah. I'm a middle class, likable politician. But I'm not just a politician. Don't say that I'm just a politician.
No,
I'm a likable politician.
I'm a likable politician.
And I come from a happy party.
No, nobody.
I'm not cribbing about Bangla, Gali. They are cribbing about. Why did we used to move around a Wagoner? I'll tell you why. Let me just one line.
Sudhanshu is laughing.
One line.
One line.
Because we want to be excessive accessible to the common man.
Okay.
We want to give the message that we are among you.
Then travel
We are
economy.
not a distant
Then
dream.
travel economy.
Like
Why-
Modi is,
No, no,
like
if you
Rahul
want to be
Gandhi is.
accessible to the
Rahul
common
Gandhi
man,
and Modi
travel
are distant
economy.
dreams. We live among common people. That's my viewpoint.
Ashish,
Yeah.
just a minute. Just a minute. Appreciate everything. I appreciate what you're saying. You are saying that we want to come closer to the Aam Aadmi, which is why
Absolutely.
whenever we get an opportunity, we go on a private jet or we'll travel business class. Maybe it is a new way
We are
to get
as
closer to the Aam
comfortable
Aadmi.
traveling in a local train
I'm
as
sure.
we are traveling in a business class.
I am
That's the
absolute-
viewpoint.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen Modi ji
Absolutely.
traveling
I-
in a
then-
local train in Mumbai? Have you
Sudhanshu-
ever seen Modi ji stopping at a traffic signal? Tell me.
The
Tell
public
me.
show,
Modi,
Ashish-
Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi are distant dreams.
Ashish, a minute, please.
We are intimate, proximate to the common man.
Ashish,
We live among them.
Ashish, just a minute, please.
We are like them.
Ashish,
No, Ashish
you
is
are
not
the
an
only
advantage
party.
of
No, no, one second. You are the only party.
He has brought up this
No,
issue
no, no.
of
You are the
Sonia
only
Gandhi, which I
party.
should
I'd like to
respond.
remind you how many U-turns. One second. And Ashish, just listen, please. How many U-turns will you make?
Arnab, I think.
One second. How
since
many?
he has
No,
referred to
how?
Sonia
No,
Gandhi and Rahul
Rajesh,
Gandhi,
Rajesh. How many U-turns will you make? You are also the only party. You have a vision document, and you put it in the vision document that we will, as all people and members of the Aam Aadmi Party, shun luxuries. Flying in a private jet is not a necessity. Today
We
you are
never
saying
say
it's
that we shun luxuries. We shun
you'll
luxuries
say
at the
you-
cost of government exchequer. Today,
You
we
forgot
have
point
the
number 4.
ex-CEO
Point-
of Infosys
How many
as a member
U-turns?
of Aam Aadmi Party. Can we stop him from flying in business
No, no,
class?
but- no, what's it? How-
Let me tell
what- you know,
Let me
you-
tell
you said-
we
you-
have Meera Sanyal.
So what
the
happens to your vision
ex-chairman of
document?
Royal Bank of Scotland.
What happens to your vision document?
She goes to she goes on expensive holidays.
What
travels
is going
business
on,
class.
Ashish? What
if we can afford luxuries. If we can afford luxuries through our honest means, we'll afford it.
Okay.
But we'll not put the burden of our luxuries on the government exchequer,
Okay, so
on the common man.
Why don't you?
that's a
Suppose
philosophy.
somebody asks you a simple question.
That's a philosophy.
One second. So ये हिंदी में जैसे लोग कहेंगे मौका मिले तो प्राइवेट जेट.
जी नहीं.
सुन लीजिए मेरी बात.
हाँ.
मौका मिले तो प्राइवेट जेट वैसे आम आदमी. दूसरी बात ये लोग
हिंदी में
कहेंगे लोग कहेंगे कि लोग
हिंदी में
कहेंगे मेरी बात
कि
सुनिए आशीष.
चाहे कमरे के अंदर हो चाहे कमरे के बाहर हो,
लोग इस बात को
मौका
कहेंगे.
कोई भी हो, हम हैं आम आदमी. हम प्राइवेट जेट में भी आम आदमी है,
The-
लोकल ट्रेन में भी आम
Why don't
आदमी
you-
है, और कॉमर्शियल
Why
एयरलाइन में
don't
भी
you?
आम आदमी
Why
है.
don't one? Why
और
don't? Why don't
मुख्यमंत्री
you?
कुर्सी में भी
Why
आम
don't?
आदमी
Why
है.
don't you take that
MLA
money?
होके भी आम
No, no,
आदमी
why
है.
don't? Why don't?
टाइम्स नाउ की टीवी स्टूडियो में भी आम
Why
आदमी है.
don't you take that money and Sudhanshu Trivedi is coming in then Brajesh Kalapa. Why don't you take the money and give it to poor people who you say you represent? You are the ones who made a public image that we are different. We have a
अरे
vision
जो
document.
है उसको तो लूट ले. ये 20,000 रुपए का एहतियात के टिकट से आम आदमी का क्या भला हो जाएगा?
या आप
ये
हर
पब्लिक
बार
का
की-
पैसा जो
how
कांग्रेस
many-
और बीजेपी वाले लूट रहे हैं उसको तो बचाना है पहले.
So आप
कितना
लोगों
बजट है देश का हर साल जो लूट में चला जाता है?
So now the argument, now it's another
आप
argument.
20,000
Now
रुपए की
the
टिकट से
argument.
देश का भला कर देंगे?
आशीष सुन लीजिए.
नहीं, आप 20,000 रुपए की
दूसरी-
टिकट से देश का भला कर देंगे?
आशीष जी लोगों की बात सुनिए. लोगों की बात
आप भी
सुनिए.
मेरी बात सुनिए.
No, no,
20,000 नहीं था वो
मैं
1 लाख.
कह रहा हूँ
just a minute.
20,000 रुपए से देश का भला होगा.
आशीष
कि एक आदमी ने 20,000 रुपए की टिकट भेजा,
but one
आप कह रहे हैं कि उस टिकट को बेच के 50,000 आदमी को दे दो.
No, I don't want to raise my voice. I'm just saying one.
No, don't raise it. Your voice is already raised.
My point is simply this,
Huh.
that if every 2 minutes you change your position, it's not looking good. And now what you are saying is that don't ask me questions because whatever is a little less money, the money being spent is by others. Somebody will ask you, are you traveling private jets and business class to save the people of this country? You see, you're on a very thin line and it's not going to work. I want Sudhanshu Trivedi to have a word.
got an invitation
Sudhanshu
from
Trivedi.
entrepreneurs.
Sudhanshu Trivedi.
We got an invitation from
Actually, their
Sudhanshu
definition
Trivedi,
of
the BJP.
luxury-
To the Aam Aadmi Party.
We are
Yes.
going to Columbia University.
Listen.
Their definition of luxury
They have sent us a ticket.
and the
They have
modesty
arrangements.
is such a privilege
Question of-
that I would like to remind.
We don't have the money to fly.
अरे भाई अब मुझे बोलने दीजिए. You have taken much more than the time which was entitled.
Go ahead.
बोलिए साहब, बोलिए, आप ही का ज़माना.
Now, I would like to remind the people that when they were provided the government car, which were the ambassadors, they said they will not try to have a luxury. Then all their ministers bought an Innova car, which is more luxurious than ambassador, twice the cost, and the Innova is of a foreign company, and ambassador is an Indian company. This is their definition of luxury.
I
Now,
just want to ask you.
just now in your program, Arvind Kejriwal, he was saying
Modi's
that
Ashish, he-
travels
time
abroad.
people of
Let him
India
speak.
seen a
Let him
chief
speak.
minister on a red light,
him
they
speak.
can have a handshake. But in a plane, he doesn't want to sit in a cattle class to have a handshake. He wants to be in the first class. Now, on the other aspect of so-called tam-jam of politicians, security is also a matter of concern. There were so many unfortunate events of slapping Arvind Kejriwal, which Aam Aadmi Party has come that these were the saline people. Can the senile people or these type of unoriented people be allowed to disturb or insult the first citizen of a state? No. So that's why I am saying, be realistic. Then you should be able to understand what is the importance of security.
Ashish, it's not right to always interrupt. No, you let him finish.
And what the other things like luxury and modesty and other things, I am just listening your ridiculous statement for so many times. You were saying that you were having a 3 lakh salary and you are not doing anything CSR. If the corporate world are saying to have a CSR, then it is incumbent on the part of those who are having the luxurious life. It cannot only be when you become politician, then you become very good. Otherwise, you were having
the question is about
this
counter question.
Similarly, with
all incoherent what
Arvind
you have just
Kejriwal
said.
and now your
CSR, my salary.
Counter question is coming in from Rajesh Kalappa. No, one. Ashish Khaitan, the question is not this.
Okay.
You please understand
You
the
want
basic.
to gag me? I will sit quiet.
Ashish,
I'll just listen to you.
if you think that after going on and taking 80% of the time on the program, anyone's trying to
why
gag
your
you, then you
minister
got that
has
wrong
asked
as well.
for
Anybody to speak, yeah.
Now,
We're
what's
all
it?
sitting here.
Everyone
giving
else
a
should be
chance.
allowed to
We're not
get
getting
the
a
question.
Why you
We're not
ask for
being
Innova
paid.
card?
Let me come in now, please.
No, question is
I think we've
who
had
created
enough.
the image? 1 second. Did anybody create this image for Arvind Kejriwal? Did anybody tell him to cultivate this image of somebody who, who would not do all the things? He almost put out an image saying, I am the person who leads this ascetic kind of life. And the number of U-turns which he has done, which I just want to place before Brajesh takes it on. There's a U-turn on the bungalow. Then there are repeated questions on Rahul Gandhi, Narendra Modi's use of private jets and then flying one himself. The U-turn on government cars. I mean, there are innumerable, and now this situation where he's regularly seen now, he's now flying business class, and the argument is being made he's not flying business class himself, he's flying on behalf of the people. So what if he does? And this is the whole concept of an Aam Aadmi is not a literal one, it's a philosophical and metaphorical one. Go try telling the people of Delhi. Try telling the people of Delhi this, Ashish Khaitan, कि जो no, आप कहिए कि आम आदमी सोच में है, सोच विचार में है. हम जो कपड़े पहनते हैं, रेडियो स्टेशन में जो बोलते हैं, उसकी विश्वास मत कीजिए. हम जो पीछे पर्दे जो करते हैं, प्राइवेट जेट में जो करते हैं, जब बाहर जाते हैं, उसको भी लोग मानेंगे. लोग आपको कहेंगे, were you real? Were you honest? Or were you just one big, allow me to complete, were you one big, gigantic, well-crafted marketing gimmick? Because your words have to match your actions.
For you, this talk about fighting against corruption
it's a matter
maybe
of timing.
just a profession.
Mr. Khaitan, Mr. Khaitan,
for you, the fight against corruption may be just a profession. It's a mission for us. You are sitting on your comfortable job in your cushy chair. We have sacrificed everything.
Really? So let me ask you.
So I have not got a penny in my bank account in the last 1.5 years.
Okay, so Mr.
Tell me. Can you live without a salary for 1.5 years?
Ashish Khaitan, I'm not.
I'll tell you one thing. For us, it's a mission. It's a mission that we have set out on.
Ashish, listen.
For us, fight against corruption is a mission.
Ashish, I'll tell you.
And I'll tell you, go and tell the people of Delhi that have we indulged in any scam? Have we fleeced the public? Have we not fought against corruption of Congress party? Have we not fought against the corruption of BJP in MCD?
But that doesn't give you
the common man?
That doesn't give you the right to gag us all on this TV show.
I think there's a very simple reply. When he finishes, I will reply.
Who fought the fight against black money?
No.
Who was on the street?
See, it's a matter of timing.
There is a very
It's a matter of
Who fought the
timing.
fight against corruption?
What? Ashish, now let them speak.
It's a matter of timing. Just the other day we saw Mr. Kejriwal going around from table to table collecting money, 20,000 rupees from each diner. Now, if he were really serious about collecting money, the first thing he would have done is he would have flown economy.
Let him speak.
No,
let him speak.
Please.
Let him speak.
He would have flown economy because a business class ticket costs 4 times more than how much an economic class ticket costs. The first thing he would have done, if he were serious about collecting funds, is seen that this, the difference amount goes to the party. If he were serious about collecting funds, the second second issue is, now Mr. Trivedi, of course, is saying whatever he's saying about the Wagoner, but I don't know if his own Prime Minister, who promised to go around in a Scorpio, is aware that he's traveling in a BMW nowadays. I don't know if he, and in so far
He's
as
the Prime Minister of India.
no, that's okay, but he promised. He
No,
made a
but
promise, just like Arvind Kejriwal promised to go on his Wagoner. He made a promise. The Prime Minister of India made a promise
but
that he travel on a Scorpio.
Who's made political capital of cultivating
Do you
the
have the
image of an
number of
Aam
Rahul Gandhi?
Aadmi?
Can you give him a call and tell him to not
Ashish,
fly
Ashish,
to Spain,
Ashish,
to America,
Ashish, just
to
no,
Europe?
you prove one
Give
of
a
these
phone
trips.
call, give a
Ashish,
phone
you
call
must
to
not
Rahul
have
Gandhi
these
and
trips.
tell
You
him-
prove one of these trips
tell
to
him
me.
not to make
Each trip you prove
frequent
karo.
overseas trips,
You prove
not to-
one
not
trip
to
to me.
go on
Just now you
expensive
asking
vacations.
for proof.
One
Now
advice.
you don't want to give
Call
any
up
proof.
Rahul
You're
Gandhi,
supposed to
tell
be
him
a
stop
former
going on
journalist.
expensive
The
vacations.
least you can do is provide some basic proof.
Ashish, don't speak over others. I'm requesting one second. I'm requesting you, Ashish. Don't speak over others. And one thing, I'll just make a point, small point. You know, Ashish, I don't like these kind of lectures on journalism because you can go and do some searches yourself. Where was the Aam Aadmi Party when the CWG scam was broken? Where was the Aam Aadmi Party when the 2G scam was broken? Where was the Aam Aadmi Party when
Out
the
on the
Devas
streets.
ISRO scam was broken?
Out on
Where
the
was the
streets.
Aam Aadmi Party when the, allow me to come, when the Aircel Maxis scam was broken?
Out on the
Where
streets.
was the Aam Aadmi Party when the Adarsh scam
I
was
broke the
broken?
Aircel Maxis story.
And
I
all
broke
these,
the
all
Aircel
these-
Maxis story.
No, the Aircel Maxis story was
Was
broken
broken
in the
by me.
entire media. Anyway, the
Yeah.
question is,